Hi everybody, it's Becky here, back with another live yoga class. Tonight we're going to be doing a yen class. We're going to go deep into that connective tissue in the body. As always, listen to your body. If it feels like you're doing too much, you probably are. Remember, these are all suggestions. And do just what feels right to you. And we'll wait just another minute, let a couple more people join. But if you're watching this on replay, grab water, grab blocks, go ahead and get yourself situated, and we'll get started shortly. Hope you've had a beautiful day today. I haven't gotten to spend much time outside, but it has been nice. Wait just another minute or so. Grab any props that you need. Again, tonight is a yen practice. A nice slow practice to go deep into the connective tissue. If you can hear me, if you would let me know in the comments. I think I've got the microphone set up right this time, so hopefully it'll work out just fine. Just let me know in the comments if the sound is working okay this time. I did get my son to help me a little bit here. Hopefully I've got it right. So again, with yen, make sure you have your props. If you don't have them handy, go ahead and grab them. We'll wait just another minute while you do. Blankets, blocks, bolsters. If you don't have blankets, blocks, and bolsters, grab a pillow, grab a towel, grab anything that, hey Laurie, thanks for joining me again. Grab anything that you might want for support. This is to support you. Those joints can be a little tender on the floor. Knees like a little support sometimes, and we are going to start with you on a knee. So go ahead and grab a blanket, grab a bolster, grab a towel, grab the pillow off the back of the sofa, whatever it is that you have handy. Go ahead and grab it, and we'll get started. All right, so again, we are going to start with those hips. I find my hips have been a little grumpy lately. It comes a lot from holding stress in those hips, and many of us do that. So let's start with those hips. And find a towel or a blanket. Find something to cushion your knee. Grab it, and you can fold it up as much as you need. Everyone's knees are a little bit different. Place your blanket or your towel on your mat. And then you're going to let that left knee come to the mat and the right foot come forward. So hands are to your thigh, and you're just leaning into this, beginning to open up those hips. And remember, with yen, these are really long holds. So always listen to your body. If you need to back off a little bit. Maybe you find that you've gone too far. It's okay to back off. Sometimes doing less is actually more. So just listen to your body. Always going back to your breath. Noticing where you feel it and how it changes the longer you stay here. little bit longer here. Noticing if you're going a little bit deeper. And checking in to see if that's right. Or see if you need a little less. Remember, these are always suggestions. Listen to your own body. Now from here, just let your hands come down to the floor and you're shifting your weight back. So just straightening that front leg and release over top of it. Now if you find that the back of your leg is really tight, you might want something underneath the leg. You can place a block there or anything else that you have for support. You can always place it there and lift up a little bit. Hamstrings do tend to be tight on a lot of people, so just notice and work with what you've got tonight. And remember, in yin, we do things a little bit differently. So if you find that you're wanting to round your back and even drop a little bit deeper that way, that's okay. You don't even have to keep that back straight here. You can round into it. Going back to your breath. A few more deep breaths here. Now from here, you're just shifting your weight forward again. Still with that left knee down. Take your right foot so that it's out towards the edge of the mat and your hands are now to the inside of your leg. Just let your hips sink forward and down, going a little bit deeper into the hip joint. Noticing how it feels here. Noticing what's different. Noticing what's the same. You're about halfway through this part. Couple more deep breaths here. Slowly release out of this. And take a moment to just move however you need. Maybe a little down dog is good right now. Maybe just a little cat and cow. Maybe just some wiggles, but let that go. And as you're moving, notice the difference in your sides. And then readjust your blanket or towel if you need to. We're going to switch sides. So the right knee is on the blanket or towel. Left foot is coming forward. Hands just come to your thigh and you're gently leaning into it. Take your time. Remember, this is a deep stretch. We're about halfway through this part. Couple more breaths here. Go ahead and let your hands release down to the floor. Shift your hips back. So you're straightening that front leg. Now your toes on that left foot can be up, they can be down. It's really up to you what feels right. But let your upper body release over top of that left leg. And again, if you need it, if the hamstrings are really tight, lift yourself up. Place something behind your leg. Wherever you are though, you want that front leg straight. Just coming over top of the leg. Rounding your back if you like. You can always drop your head too. Going back to your breath. Go ahead and shift your weight back forward. Walk your foot out towards the edge of your mat. Hands are to the inside of your leg. Let your hips sink forward and down. Again, going deep into that joint. Noticing what it feels like on this side. Notice where those tight spots are. Couple more deep breaths here. Slowly come out of this. You can take a moment to move however you need. Maybe it's a little down dog. Maybe it's some cat and cow or just wiggles. A lot of stillness in this class, so just take a moment to let that stillness go. And then move your blanket, towel, or whatever you were using to cushion your knee. Move it off to the side. And you're going to come down onto your belly. All the way onto your belly. Elbows are underneath your shoulders. So you're just lifting up. Now you have a couple of options. You can stay lifted like this, or you can let your head fall and you're sinking in between those shoulders. Both are really great options. Do what feels right to you. Notice if your spine is shifting the longer you stay here. You can feel mine change. More opening. Go ahead and release down. Just make a pillow with your hands by stacking those hands and rest on top of them for a moment. Now we're going to take that same movement a little bit deeper. We won't hold it nearly as long, but let's take it deeper. So hands are going to start out underneath your shoulders, moving into your cobra to start. Walking your hands out a little bit wider so they're maybe mat width, and turning your hands so the fingers are pointing out. Maybe even taking the hands forward just another inch. So you're higher than you were a moment ago. Again, you can stay lifted or you can let your head fall and you sink in between those shoulders. Both are really great options. Just depends on what you want right now. If you find this is too much, go back to what we were just doing so that you're on those elbows. Always listen to your back, listen to your body. If it's saying it's too much, honor it. We do change from day to day. What is easy one day might be hard the next, and vice versa. So just notice where you are right now. Slowly go ahead and release back down. Rest on those hands again for a moment. Now from here, you're going to take your hips back to your heels, coming into your child's pose. And maybe you've got those knees wide and you rest in between. Or maybe those knees are together and you're resting on top. It's your choice. Letting those arms reach out in front of you, or maybe you bring them back by your side. Lots of options. And remember, you can always shift in the middle. A little bit longer here. more breaths. Slowly come back out of this. And again, take a moment to move. Let the blood flow in those legs. If down dog works, or just a little stretch in those legs, whatever you need. And then from here, you're on your hands and your knees. Curl your toes under. We're going to take a moment to stretch out the bottom of the feet. So if you can see my toes are curled under. And just push back so your hips are coming towards those heels, but the toes are still curled under. And you can always stay here, or if your feet are feeling pretty loose today, maybe you lift all the way up. It's your feet. What do they need? All that connective tissue on the bottom of the foot gets really tight sometimes. So just giving it a little bit of help. We won't hold this one quite as long. Right, go ahead and release those feet. Wiggle those toes just a little bit. And then sit back on those heels. So we're stretching out the opposite side of the foot for a moment. Now if this is too much, you have a block handy or you have a pillow or whatever's handy, you can sit on it, placing it in between those feet. Sitting on it if you need to. Be kind to those ankles and feet. So staying here for just a little bit longer. Take your right arm to the front and wrap your left one underneath and around. Let's release those shoulders a bit. Hips and shoulders, where we hold so much tension. Hips, shoulders, and neck. Letting a little bit go tonight. Finding some calm in the body. Grounding. Now go ahead and release those arms. And we're going to switch sides. So start with the left arm and wrap the right one underneath and around. Again, lift those elbows just a bit. Go ahead and release those arms. Roll your shoulders a little. And then we're going back to the bottom of the feet one more time. So curl those toes back under. Push back on your hands. Stretch out the bottom of the feet. And again, stay here. Or if you prefer, you can lift all the way up. And just check in with those feet. Notice if it's different this time. You've already done this stretch once. How do your feet feel? Just a couple more breaths here. Release your feet. Wiggle those toes. For this next one, we're going into pigeon. You can get into pigeon however you like to. It's always popular to come up into down dog first. Lifting that right leg and then bringing the knee forward, placing it near that right hand. Center your weight between your hips. Now, you can always take whatever you have around you to help support you. You can use something underneath your head. You can place something underneath your hip if you need that. Remember, there should be no pain in that front knee. If there is, just come out. Find a different stretch to do. And let your head rest. Finding some ease here. Noticing if you need to shift something in order to find that ease. You're about halfway. Make any adjustments if you need them. Make sure you can be comfortable here. Going deeper into those hips. Slowly come out of this. You're in these poses a long time, so it's always good to slowly release out. Your body needs some time to adjust. Go ahead and wiggle a little bit. Move however you need. And then we're moving over to the opposite side, so bring that left knee forward. However you want to get there. Again, center your weight between your hips and then let your upper body release down using any support that you need. Practice kindness. Support is not a weakness. Letting yourself be supported is a kindness to your body, a kindness to your mind. Those are things that we need right now. Got about a minute more here. Couple more breaths. Slowly again, come out of this. Take a moment to move however you need. And then make your way onto your back. Coming all the way onto your back. Drawing your knees in. Just rock side to side for just a moment. And then we're going to move into some twists. So first, taking your knees over to your right side. Stack those hips. And then let your left shoulder release back towards the floor. If you need any support, you can put a blanket or a towel underneath that shoulder, that left shoulder. You're twisting your spine. Think of twist as being good for your digestion, good for moving fluid around in the belly, squeezing all of those organs in your belly, helping the blood flow. Just enjoying this moment. Be aware if your mind is coming into play as you hang out in these postures. Just notice thoughts as they come in. See if you can just acknowledge them and let them go. Coming back to your body, letting your awareness be in your body right now. Couple more breaths on this side. Now go ahead and come back to the center. And pause here for a moment. Now, we're going to recenter your bodies. So you have a couple of options. You can just draw those knees in, hug them in close, or maybe extend your arms and legs in opposite directions on the floor. But center your body for a moment. That was a long twist. Bring our awareness back to the center. Now draw those knees back in if they're not already, and we're twisting in the opposite direction. So take your knees over to the left side. Again, stack your hips, and then let your right shoulder come back towards the floor. And again, you can put something underneath that shoulder if you need to. Twisting in the opposite direction. Helping that blood flow again in your organs. Noticing if this twist feels different than the first one. Notice if it feels the same. Again, it's all about awareness here. You're about halfway through this twist. Couple more breaths here. Go ahead and come back to your to the center. And again, recenter your body. So maybe draw those knees in, or maybe extend your arms and legs in opposite directions on the floor. Couple of breaths here. And then you're moving into your last pose. So maybe Shavasana. You can just stay on your back. Let those feet widen a little bit. Arms extending out to the side. Or maybe even staying overhead. Wiggling those hips, getting them as even as you can. If you have a wall handy and you like legs at the wall, feel free to find the wall. And I'm just going to sit quietly and let you enjoy your Shavasana. Draw your knees in and just roll over onto your side for a moment. Pause there. There's no need to hurry, no need to rush. Just pause on your side for a moment. Let your body adjust. And then gently rise on up to seated and sit on something so that your hips are lifted up. Tonight I'm sitting on a block. I like to sit on the corner of the block. It helps my hips to open up. You can sit on a blanket, a pillow, whatever you have handy. Just sit on something. Lift your hips up just a little bit. Then cross your legs however you like. We're going to finish with just a short meditation. Let your hands rest in your lap somehow. Again, it's up to you. Find some length in your spine, so sit a little taller. And then close your eyes if that's comfortable. If not, maybe just let your gaze be down to the floor. And go back to your breath. It's a simple inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. See if you can slow that breath down a little bit. Lengthen the inhale and lengthen your exhale. Imagine inhaling peace and exhaling any stress that you have right now, letting it go. Nice long inhale of peace. And then exhale, let that stress go. Again, if your mind starts to come into play here, just acknowledge it and come back to your breath. Inhaling peace, exhaling stress. Again, nice and simple. Take one more deep breath in. And with the exhale, just let everything go. Bring your hands to your heart, palms together. May you laugh more. May you rest more. And may you judge less. Thank you for being here with me tonight. Thank you for practicing with me. Have a safe, healthy, and really wonderful evening. Namaste. And if you haven't stepped foot outside of the house today, go outside, take a walk. That's what I'm going to do next. Just go outside, take a nice little walk, get some air, see if the pollen has gone away a little bit. Probably not, but I'll check it anyway. As always, this is a donation-based class, so if you can, I'd appreciate any donations to my Venmo account. I'll post it in the comments. Thank you so much, Lisa and Carrie. I'm not sure who else was here, but thank you for joining me. Hey, Suzanne. Have a wonderful evening. And let me know if you have any requests in the future, or if there's any areas of the body you'd really like to work. Just put it in the comments, and then I can make sure we get it in the class next So have a wonderful evening again, and I will see you next Tuesday at 6 for a flow class, a nice gentle flow. Have a great weekend. Bye.